Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death. Ryan, it's been a long time. How you doing?
Has been like a month. Happy New Year. Happy New Decade.
Yeah, happy new decade. I hope it will be a good one.
You don't sound convinced.
Well, the 1820s and the 1920s weren't exactly great decades for humanity. So, hopefully the 2020s will be better.
Aren't the 20s kind of glorified? It's like
Only like the beginning of them, but then there's like the Great Depression,
the early 20s, the roaring 20s, right? Everyone was like drinking moonshine and dancing the jitterbug. My decade's off. There was some kind of dancing.
That's the roaring 20s, the jitterbug, the flappers, all the fun stuff right before the world fell apart again. Yeah. But 2020s are going to be better, right?
Right.
I hope so.
Yeah.
So, here we are, and we're going to pick up some Zweihard instead of continuing with Selkie. We're going to find out what's Zweihard.
For no reason in particular.
I'm going to see what Zweihard has been up to in the last year and a half.
Yeah, it's actually because I didn't prep my DMing. So here we are. I have to play again.
Yeah. One of these days, you'll do some prep ahead of time. One of these days. So we left off with Zweihard when he was. How did we leave him?
Well, I just pulled up the wiki of the last episode, but I mean, I think we left on kind of an ominous note. Well, I don't know. So I had discovered a mithril mine, but in opening it up, inadvertently unleashed the Grells upon the Hemmerkos Hills. Or I don't know if unleashed. He opened up the seal, whatever was sealing them in.
Yeah. I'd kind of forgotten about the Grell.
You had?
A little bit.
Is that what we need to deal with today? I mean, maybe they don't come through, or maybe they're smarter this time. They just pop out every once in a while, eat a few villages, slip back into their home. I don't know much about the War of the Grell.
Yeah. I think that depending on how this goes, we may see them, we may not see them. It depends on how much adventuring you want to do versus how much crafting you want to do. If we stay crafting focused, they'll probably be somewhere in the background that we don't notice.
Yeah. Then after the Grell stuff, most of this episode looks like it was in Blacksteel Keep, crafting. Nah. And then I think we tried to track down Einhard, Zweihard's elder brother. I think to warn them about the Grell and let them know about the mithril mine, and try and redirect them. Like he's out there campaigning against goblins, orcs, whatever. When there's bigger fish to fry, giants in the north, demons in the east. Now Grell. But we have mithril. Oh, and there's a territorial dispute with the mithril mine, right? It's like in questionable. Yeah, like it's near a county border. It probably belongs to the neighbors, but we're trying to usurp it or mine it or something. So I wanted Einhard's help with those politics.
Right.
So we headed to Keldaram and tried to look. And then made it to the battle camp. But Einhard was not there. Einhard himself is injured and carried back to Blacksteel Keep. Orcs and the Hobgoblins have a ceasefire with each other, I think, in order to deal with Einhard's army. Top of that, Cyclops arrive and make things worse. There's no use of the Grell attacks yet. Let's see.
So
Get this.
I think we can just pick up, and you'll have some amount of time before world events start shaping your actions a little bit. So what is Zweihard doing? What is he up to?
Preparing for trouble the only way dwarves know how. Forging. Digging deep.
Hopefully not too deep this time.
Yeah, we do have this bit of prophecy where Zweihard atop Blacksteel Keep looking around the hills sees a storm coming from the east, borrows the augury bones of the first Thane. Johanna, the priestess, is worried, feeling something bad is coming. Not just a threat in the east, but something else in the west. And I think we kind of left Zweihard on those ominous notes, and then subsequent events have happened. So this was June 14th, 1510. What has happened in the intervening time? So do we want to like jump in day by day and play it out like that, or should we do like a broad strokes?
Let's do some broad strokes stuff. I think you're probably going to want to craft some things, but also there's probably going to be some new spell crafting that we're going to want to do. We've talked about one such spell off stream. We might want to make another one or two, and just see where this takes us.
Cool stuff. Do we want to talk like historic? I don't know if historic is the right word, but like, are there any major events that we need to be aware of?
There's one major event that we need to be aware of, and that is in December of 1510.
Okay, so
it's a little ways out.
It's a full 6 months from where we are now. Is that when Madrigal disappears from the sky?
No, that's going to be February 1512.
1512?
Yeah.
So we've got like years to go through.
We've got a year and 3/4, I think.
But what's a year?
2 years and
dwarf?
Yeah, a year and 3/4. And somewhere in about 6 months, we're going to have some problems with Meadstead and Tharnham being in a state of war.
With each other?
No, with this mysterious army of silent people that need neither food nor water. Nor sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll get to that later. In the meantime,
so I don't think Zweihard actually ever found Einhard. I think we ended with Einhard returning, wounded, having suffered heavy casualties. Yeah, Einhard himself is injured and carried back to Blacksteel Keep. I think the orcs and the hobgoblins joined forces to drive back Einhard's army. But I don't know that anything comes of that. Like, does this effectively put an end to the campaigning?
It does not.
Okay.
It puts a stall on it until they can find the right combination of strategy, leadership, and equipment to handle the menace. Dwarves are a proud folk. They are not going to take this setback lying down.
Yeah. I don't remember if we played out this scene, but I'm sure Zweihard will be urging his brother. The orcs and the hobgoblins are not our greatest threat. They are timeless enemies. We've been battling them for generations and will continue to fight them for generations to come. Nothing changes there. But I sense a new foe rising in the east and perhaps in the west. A storm
greater foe?
And we are at its eye.
What greater threat could there be than hobgoblins and orcs and giants?
Well, there's giants. But I guess have the giants teamed up with the hobgoblins and orcs?
No, not really. They're somewhere in the hills, but you guys haven't seen them yet.
Yeah. In heat stroke, a great fleshy mass emanates and spreads across the land. Perhaps not now, not next year, but eventually, if left unchecked, it will make its way here, take over all the land.
In typical dwarven fashion, these things must be thought upon.
I believe I have a solution.
Huh?
Mithril.
His eyes glitter as you whisper the key word.
Yeah, and from his belt, Zweihard draws a mithril hand axe. Mithril hand axe. Mithril blade and a silver counterbalance with a handle of woven bogwood.
Ooh.
Just as an example. It's not, I don't think this one's a gift to my brother. I've already given him like a super high quality battle axe.
Mm-hmm.
I have, in your absence, I have uncovered a mine. Not a day's walk southeast of here. But this is probably after, or this is like at his rest bed or something.
Yeah, I think this is while they're all resting and recovering.
Yeah. But first we must get you healthy. Then I will need your help, Einard. I lay a hand on his shoulder.
He appreciates your offers and goes back to his resting while you get to develop. I don't know what you're going to develop, but we're going to find out.
Yeah, so I think... I don't know if this puts a wrench in the works or brings the Grells to a head, but I think we need more mithril, right? I think the plan is to gather as much as we can and make as much magic equipment as we can in anticipation for all the coming threats. My fear is that Einhard will make poor, rash decisions, take these mithril weapons and throw them against the orcs and the hobgoblins when our real threat is to the east. But in any case, Zweihard's going to do what his destiny made him for and craft.
Okay. Let's do it. This is your destiny, Zweihard. You must fulfill it. So, gear, spells, items. Where do you want to start?
I think with the... I think we need more equipment. We need materials. I think we need more mithril. I currently have... Let's see what I've got. I've actually got a fair bit of mithril. Maybe we can start crafting.
And you have your assistant, whose name I've forgotten right now.
Is it Dunhilda? Zunhilda?
You had that young lad who was there helping you mine.
Lass? Oh, mine. Oh, you're right. I forgot about that guy.
I can't
Are you
remember
sure
his
that
name.
wasn't...
It might have been
the
Dunhilda. I thought it was
episode. Miner, mining...
I thought it was a boy, a male, helping you in the mine.
Yeah, I think you're right. I'll look up that recap in a second.
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't know where he... Did I find him there? Dunhilda is my apprentice.
Okay, Dunhilda's your apprentice.
Ziggy.
That's the one.
Ziggy the Fifth? Is he the fifth Ziggy? I don't know why he's Ziggy V, but...
Yeah, he's probably Ziggy the Fifth.
Where did Ziggy come from? Did we find him near the mine? Was he like the... Oh no, he was the son of the captain of the guard. He's like the son of the... Castellan? Is that what we were referring to? Yeah. He's the Castellan's son. And
something like, yeah.
Yeah, and I took him with me to... Took him with me to the mine. And he is the only one other than me that knows about the Grell.
Right. And I think he's the only one other than you that knows the location of the mithril mine as well.
Yeah, although I did just tell Einhard that it exists. Right. And once he's well, I will reveal the full nature of the problem, and we'll pull out the territorial maps and see if we can make a case for usurping it from Tharnum, or maybe there's politicking to be done. But in the meantime, I think I did get a pretty hefty dose of mithril out of the mine. I have on my character sheet 11 21 MP mithril sheets. Why 21? I think 21 was the amount of mithril coins required to make a halberd head.
And you have 11
4.62 pounds of mithril.
Woo!
In addition to mithril, Zweihard's already got some pretty nice equipment. I have 2 mithril halberds. One of my own, and then I've got this backup one that is probably in the forge or whatever. I've got my mithril hand axe, and then I've got my mithril adorned helm, which I believe has a giant's hair braid coming out the top. Oh, and good berries sewn into the crown, right?
Right, or not sewn in, but there's a place for good berries to be.
Yeah, and there are currently three good berries in it.
Right.
I've got the bogwood axe. Cool stuff. So I think let's make some mithril halberds. Got 11 of those, so maybe let's calculate how long it takes to forge all those mithril sheets into mithril halberds. I think is mithril armor worth making? It takes a lot of mithril, so it's probably not worth it, right?
Right. It takes a lot of mithril, but it does make really great armor, and it's going to be quite light because mithril has a very low density.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's probably not the best place for your gear. You know, for one suit of mithril chain, you could make 50 mithril spearheads. So.
Yeah. I think we're gonna make a whole line of hellish halberds. Outfit a dwarven phalanx.
Okay. Do you hear our background hammering?
Oh, I need to join the disco.
Yes.
Chad is asking, what does mithril armor do? Is it just it's +1 AC? Is that the idea versus steel weapons? Or
It'll be lighter? Yeah, it's going to be much lighter, and it'll be +1 against all other. It'll essentially be +1 AC unless they have mithril weapons of their own. Yeah. Let's see, converter. Mithril has it'll be like a 1/4 the weight of regular armor.
Interesting.
Yeah.
4 pounds is still probably not enough to even make like a breastplate, though. Almost. It's almost enough to make a mithril breastplate. But I think with why did Zweihard knows that the demons? I think I tested on the flesh.
You did.
I stabbed it, or tried to cut it with a steel, or probably with a steel axe, and that was not effective. And then with a mithril axe, it just sliced through it like butter. So I think in anticipation of the demons and perhaps other magical creatures, I think mithril weapons are the priority.
Yeah, I think so.
Yes. So, how much? 50,000 copper. How much mithril is 50,000 copper?
1 mithril coin is worth 2,000 copper. So 50,000 divided by 2,000 is 25.
Okay.
50,000 copper gets you.
So, I was just looking at the Hellish Halberd spell. So the spell enhance a weapon that is being forged to be especially brutal when wielded in combat. The weapon must be of exquisite quality, minimum cost 50,000 copper, and be in the forging process when the spell is cast. Wording, but it's fine. And then the result is on a natural 18, 19, or 20, you get a D10 to determine extra special effects,
Right.
including bleeding, stunning, and maiming.
Beautiful.
50,000. I was trying to see if the mithril is almost enough. So the 21 mithril coins that we calculated as the weight of a mithril head gets us to 21. That's like 40 something thousand. Let's see,
How many? You said 21 coins for a head?
Yeah, I don't know where we came up with that figure, but I had it noted. So all of my mithril halberds say they're the one says 21 MP that it costs to build it. I think we somehow sorted out the weight of a halberd and the fraction that might be mithril.
Mm-hmm.
We can recalculate it again, but I'm inclined to just go with our previous calculation.
I'm happy.
And 21 gets us to 42,000, so that means I need an 8,000 GP halved or something like that. Or my workmanship adds 8,000 GP of value.
Yeah, the quality of your craftsmanship will make up the difference, right? It's not just raw materials; it's all the things.
Yeah.
And luckily, you're the craftsman, so you don't have to pay out the extra cash for the extra quality of weapon. You can make it yourself.
But we do need materials for the hafts. I don't know if that's worth looking into.
You want some good materials for that.
Yeah. I don't think I have any. Oh, I do have some interesting forging equipment. Nothing for this current use, but I have some glass shards, I think, that were melted by dragon fire.
Ooh.
I have some dragon scales, and I have some crocodile skin. Don't have a weight listed for those, so I don't think it's extensive amount. I think these are random dragon scales that were collected in the what is that desert?
Mm-hmm.
Where's that brass dragon? Is that Hourglass Desert?
Hourglass Desert, yes.
Yeah. But they can be used to adorn items and equipment. The glass shards are interesting. That could make for a magic weapon.
Ooh.
The crocodile skin, I think I was using to make blessed leather.
Mm-hmm.
For my Zweihard grips.
Excellent.
Oh, so I should equip all of my all these halberds with blessed leather, or prepare a bunch of blessed leather for grip wrapping as well. So I think let's start making halberd heads. Do we want to go back to our old forging rules?
Yeah, I think the ones that we had for Zweihard are the ones that we should use.
Yeah, they're probably so far gone. Do you have those?
I have notes. Yes, I do. Let's see. Mithril halberd. You have already made a bunch of rolls for it.
Yeah, I have two. Yeah. So how does it work when forging them for a second time?
You can make them of the same quality without having to make any more rolls, or you can try to improve your craft by rolling on the table to try something new and different and see if you get an improvement.
So my best would it be possible for you to send me these notes, or is that?
Yeah, I can put them into a PDF.
So you copy and pasted them in the past, but so my best mithril halberd is a 32, 28, 33, 31, which I think is pretty good.
Yeah, that's +1 to hit, +1 to saves. Damage is +1 times 10. I'm not sure what that means. And then you
for 10, +1 for 10 attacks.
Oh, right. +1 damage for the next 10 attacks. Yeah.
So that's the sharpness.
And then your critical die is a D12 instead of the regular, whatever it is, a D8 or.
Is that the damage die or the critical effect?
The size of the critical die. So when you crit, you roll additional D12s.
Interesting. So for a halberd, the crit would be a D10 plus a D12. So
yeah,
right, for double damage.
Yeah.
Or are all the dies upgraded to D12s?
Weight. No, I think it's just the critical dice are up by a die size.
Okay. Interesting.
So-
That's way better on smaller weapons.
Why?
So, for example, why isn't my crits clear?
Here we go. There's the
one's the
notes.
Cool. So, like, for example, a mithril hand axe, or a hand axe that's exceptional quality that has a D12 on the crit die. That does like it'll do like a D4 plus D12 for the crit. Whereas
Right, so I think
halberd
it
does a
just
D10.
increases the damage die by 1 size. Because your Bogwood axe has a critical of a D10, but the axe is only a D8,
Correct.
so the
I see.
critical effect is upped by 1.
Cool. Downloading stocks now in math. So if I wanted to make, say, 11 halberds, so once you've made something, you do not need to roll to make it again of the same quality?
Correct.
Or do you just need to roll to see if it's successful?
Once you have created something, you can remake that same quality with no additional dies at the regular amount of time to make something. Once you've learned that skill, you can apply that skill forever. And then it's only if you want to make something better that you have to do the re-rolling.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So I've got 32 and 28 on flexibility. That's just the saving throw versus breaking.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably not worth. So I feel like this quality of Mithril Halberd is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. +1 to hit, +1 to save. +1 to damage for the first 10 attacks, which is so awkward. I don't like the tracking, but it feels weird to just say +1 to damage across the board, you know?
I think mostly that's going to be neglected unless you're like a PC tracking your special weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's inconvenient for general use. For us, I don't think it's super challenging to have a little number of tick marks on your PDF or whatever, or on your character sheet.
Yeah, and I think if we end up making these and do some sort of mass battle with these, then we will just be fast and loose with it. And say, the first 10 rounds of combat, anyone with this will get a +1, and then after that, we'll drop it off. We'll do some sort of, simplification.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So let's make a bunch of Mithril Halberds.
Let's make some.
And I guess I don't even need to roll anything. It's just a calculation of time.
Yeah, unless there were new spells that you wanted to develop. Which maybe we should do some halberd making first, and then develop some spells, because you'll probably need to be a little bit higher level to do some of the more fun stuff.
How do you mean?
Well,
are we leveling Zweihard up?
A level 5 character. You've got a year and 3/4 between now and then. And I think if Zweihard is a cleric of Seor, and you end up forging mithril weapons for a dwarven army, it'll probably level you up eventually. And then as a higher level, you'll probably be able to make cooler spells. Yep. So, how long
I
did
did just get access to 3rd level spells for the first time.
That's true.
Got some playing there.
How long does it take to make a weapon? That's like the one thing that's not on this list.
No. I think it might have only been like a day.
Yeah, I think I have this on my weapon chart, maybe.
I think it was like the way we were doing it, you roll once each day.
Right. It takes 5 days to make a halberd, or a glaive, or a partisan.
Okay.
Cool. So, you can make 21 of these suckers?
11 of these suckers.
11.
I've got one that is a 22 quality. Can I upgrade that to my current quality, or like reforge
Absolutely.
it?
You melt it down, reforge it. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess we're
Let's do this. So how many? How do we go forward from here? What's the first step?
I think we do a forging montage of Zweihard hammering away in his forge for let's see, to make 12 mithril halberds, whatever. 12 times, you said they're 5 days each. That's 60 days. I don't know if he gets 60 days of uninterrupted forging.
Probably. You probably get 60 days of uninterrupted forging. You got an assistant to help you with these things.
Yeah. And yeah. Is it worth making rolls to see if I can improve that second quality?
Would you like to? Let's do it. Yeah, let's make some rolls. So the first two need to be taken in succession, right? You roll them together. That's the hardness and flexibility.
Yeah. And we're trying to get better than a 32-28.
Right. And then the next roll would be balance, which a natural 1 would ruin the blade. And then after that, you can sharpen it to your heart's content. So let's make some rolls here. Give me 2 weapon forging checks.
Yeah, so my weaponsmithing is a 12. But at some point we decided that instead of my channel divinity or my turn undead, I have a Sailor's Craft feature that allows me to add my cleric level to this roll.
Ooh, okay. That's how you get these higher rolls. Yeah. It sounds familiar.
I don't know that we always did that. I mean, I think initially we were just rolling d20s plus 12 and hoping for a 32. I guess somehow I did get a 33. So, although that might have been.
If you add 4 to 20 to a d20 to your existing skill of 12, it'd be d20 plus 16. You only need to roll 17 to get a 33.
Yeah. Although I think maybe we were using. Is there a spell that lets you that buffs your stat roll somehow? Maybe I was using.
There's a strength. Yeah.
Strength of stone. Weaponsmithing isn't strength based though; it's int based. So I think that only works for blacksmithing.
Okay.
All right. So I will roll d20s plus 12 plus 5 for my cleric level, so plus 17. And I need to roll them in pairs.
Yes.
2d20 plus 17. 2d. Let's see. Is there a way to do 2d20? Is there a way to roll them separately? To roll d20s plus 17? I do a 2 in the parenthesis around it. Will that work?
No, I think you have to roll d20 plus 17, d20 plus 17. I haven't been able to find a way to do what you're doing, or you're talking about, but I know what you mean.
No, I just did 1.
And then it didn't even add anything.
Trash. So is that like 5? Oh wait, okay, no.
That's just a weird 8.
Yeah, so that's just like a 25, which is not that useful. Okay,
there we go.
And is that 5 days wasted? That's like or mostly way.
I think this is your 5 days, and this is give me another one, and this will be the results of that first 5 days of you attempting a new technique.
Yeah,
that's only one roll.
I'm seeing 2. I've got an 8 and a 5.
But you can't. Oh, okay. We just didn't add the 17 to the 8.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Math in the head. I understand.
Yeah.
All right. So
maybe I'm better off rolling 2d20s and just adding the 17 independently.
Okay. That'll work.
Because if I'm going for 30. So if I get a 13 or better, that's a 30. $13 will get me to a 30. 18 will get me to a 35.
Okay.
There's a 35, but that's actually. But a 7 plus 17 is 24, which is hard. It's still actually 35 is not even any better than a 30.
The the first number is the hardness, which grants your size for crit, and the second number is the saving throw. which I think we care more about the first number anyway.
Yeah, but a 35 is the same as a 30. It's still only one more die set. You have to get a 40 in order to...
No, there's a... Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Can you even roll a 40?
No.
Okay.
Not until I'm a higher level.
All right,
so I'm basically trying to get at least a 13 on the first one, a 13 on both of them.
Right.
Maybe I'll just try this, like, one more time. It's not working. Okay, one more time.
All right.
No, I think we're just going to give up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 times 5. It's like 20 days. It's like 3 weeks of messing with halberds and not having any luck, not being able to produce anything better.
Trying to perfect a new design that is somehow stronger and more flexible at the same time.
Yeah, and the thing about, I mean, the initial Hellas halberd was forged out of spite in that forge of Seor, and it was a twisted and ugly thing. Frustration, made out of frustration. But those twisted barbs are what gave it its power. And I think maybe after the weeks of trying new techniques and nothing gets better, Zweihard gets frustrated and tears his mithril, to shreds and looks down at what he's made, and it's better than all of these attempts at fine craftsmanship.
Yes, there's something about the spirit of necessity that builds better weapons. And here in this relatively peaceful time, the inspiration doesn't hit you. Won't work.
Yeah. At some point, does Einhard come and visit the forge or send word? Yeah.
Yes, he does. He will come visit your forge, and with him, he will bring... I don't know how would you transport large amounts of coal over a hilly terrain? Wheelbarrows?
Carts. So I heard it's 2 donkeys? 2 goats, I think. I have goat carts are what I've been using.
Yes. So Einhard will visit you with a bunch of goats packed with barrels of coal on them. I think a small escort.
I think I'm in the keep, aren't I?
Oh, you're in the keep. You're not doing this at the mine. Okay, that makes more sense then.
Yeah, no, the mine, we got our mithril ore, and we fled for our lives from the mine.
Yeah, so then he shows up pretty easily. He'll probably be popping in and out from time to time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Does he reveal any of his plans, or does he attempt to...
He silently watches
take any of my precious mithril.
He watches his younger sibling in frustration as he tries to forge new and great weapons.
These things take time. Of patience, Einhard. He's not like, I need that halberd now for my campaign.
No, he's a dwarf. He's a patient man. He's lived a long time, and he understands that good craftsmanship takes time. He's not one of these impatient human kings who would snap at you. He sees your progress, and he doesn't think less of you for failing. He thinks greater of you for being willing to take the time to improve your technique rather than just sticking with what works already. It's what humans would do, They would find something they like and leave it at that.
So does he mention anything about his plans for campaigning?
Yeah. He mentions to you that he still thinks the orcs are a big threat and the hobgoblins. But you're a cleric, and a cleric of the great god Seor, and so when you say you feel there is a greater threat, that's not like idle chatter, That's not the same as your younger brother coming and be like, older brother, don't do this other. Like, it's not... He takes your words seriously, so he'll silently watch you and then leave you be. And after 20 days, when you are actually taking a sizable break, he'll approach you and say, Zweihard, what is your plan? These halberds that I've seen you working on, how many can you make? Do they need special training? To what purpose should we deploy these? Certainly we wouldn't want them to fall into the hands of an enemy, right?
No. With the mithril is a tricky metal to work with. I don't think any of our smiths are capable. This is a task Sayor has chosen me for. I currently have enough mithril for a dozen halberds to outfit a regiment of our finest dwarven warriors. Your honor guard, perhaps, to hold in reserve in case enemies requiring, or with magic defenses that require piercing or other such things. I do not think these weapons should be used against the orcs or the goblins. For that, steel or bronze will suffice. And you have plenty of smiths capable of such things.
Yes.
But my mithril supplies are limited, and there are other applications for such a divine metal.
As in?
Axes, armor.
Right. What your visions? What dangers do they foresee? Should we be making axes? Should we be making bolts? Should we be making halberds? What is the nature of our future?
It's not how visions work, brother. I see a storm coming. Perhaps I should consult the bones again. In the meantime, we ought to ponder the mine. I meant to discuss with you sooner, but you weren't well, and then I was busy in the forge. Come, let's go to the war room. There's a war room or something, right, with maps?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You make your way there.
And we'll roll out the maps. Like, I got the mithril from here, and I point. Let's see. I was gonna consult the wiki just to double check that I got my location more or less right. It's between. Let's see. Looks like the mithril mine is like there.
Yeah. Looks about right.
Black Steel Keep. It's like there, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ish.
I'm not actually marking the maps. I'm pointing on the map.
Right.
Do these maps have like county boundaries or anything like that?
There's going to be some dotted lines that will distinguish territories. Yeah.
Mine is located in an abandoned village, tucked in the hills here. I think right now it's only you, me, and Ziggy that know where the mithril came from. And I think perhaps until we've negotiated territorial differences, I think it's best to just say that this mithril was a divine blessing.
I agree.
Is the
not due for other people to hear about this. Let us take this blessing for ourselves.
There's more down there, although the mines are not safe.
Then we should get it before someone else finds it. I will get a contingent of miners. If you will lead the way, we can produce as much mithril as there is in the ground.
And the territorial concerns? Is it looking at his like county maps or something? Is it right on a border line or something like that, or what? Or is it pretty clear that this village was once a village of Tharnum?
It's right in this territory, like it's in the hills, but at the same time it's sort of like on the edge of the hills. Anything sort of like on the edge should be belonging to one of these states down here, pretty much. So it's right in that disputed territory. It could belong to, like, many people might claim that it would be in their territory. There was a...
What's going on in Tharnum?
Right now?
Yeah, who's the lord of... We swear fealty to Keldaram, right?
Yes, the dwarves have... Oh god, what year is it? Oh, hold on. Let me get my calendar out. It is presently, it's 1510, right?
Does this change?
No. Well, so the Eridon has fallen. It's no longer a unified kingdom. It's broken up into different places. Do you guys swear fealty to Keldaram, the new dwarven nation rising?
Is that out of Milfaldur or Keldaram?
I'm sorry, Keldaram. Milfaldur would be the other side.
Yeah, but are they separate?
Yeah. They are sort of separate. There's a desire to unify the two of them, but first the threats in the middle must be dealt with.
Yeah, if Zweihard had done better at his job, they would probably be unified, but those diplomatic missions went south.
Yeah. So the people of Confluence and Meadstead might try and claim the mine if they know about it, because it's right on the edge of these various borders.
Yeah, let's see.
But these old maps do not matter anymore. The kingdom of Eridon has fallen. Ignore the county lines. We no longer abide by them. We take what is ours by right, by birth, and by foresight.
So Tharnum is another dwarven city.
It is.
Okay, it's in Dwarf County. Thane Bull Stonebeard. Okay, so it's another dwarf, so who would probably be pissed if he found out we were mining mithril out of the hills, or at least want a cut of it. But...
he might want some sort of influence or put some guards there. Probably want some gifts from it.
Okay, we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Meadstead, Confluence, I think, are another matter, but okay.
Okay.
Perhaps it would be best to send a scouting expedition first and hold off on mining until I can perhaps outfit these guards more effectively.
Hold off on mining? Did you say?
Brother, I know we were... How long ago was the Grell incursion?
Years, many years.
How many years?
Let me look at my calendar of events. Grell. Oh, nope. I will need to go look at my chapters on history.
Oh, Takis is 2 years ago. That wasn't that long ago. I think that was the there was an old one. There was a Grell invasion.
1508, so it would be about 2 years ago now.
That's not even that long ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Brother, do you remember the Grell?
It was yesterday, of course I remember them. Lost many good men there.
One of the few where they came from?
No. We never found their exit points, their lairs, their homes.
I think they came from underground.
Yes, but where underground, I don't know.
I suspect their occurrence is related to these mithril deposits. I don't know if they are also attracted to this metal, or perhaps they same magic that creates the Grell creates the Mithril. Maybe it's just a coincidence, but
I doubt the magic that creates Mithril creates Grell. They must be in the area. It must be a coincidence. Must be.
in any case, if we're to descend into the mine, we should be prepared for anything that lies down there. I think I sealed it off, didn't I? I like tried to make a cave in, but then the growl came out, and it's.
Yeah, there was some funky stuff going on with that. Your brother will request that if there's the possibility of Grell down there, maybe it's time to actually make a couple of those halberds up front so that they can be held off more easily.
Yeah. But perhaps sending a scout to make sure nothing untoward is happening wouldn't be a bad idea.
Okay. Yeah, they can send they'll need a guide to get there. It might be marked on a map, but you will need someone who's actually been there to find the way.
Take Ziggy. He knows the way, and he's a good lad. He can keep his mouth shut.
All right. They will send Ziggy.
And hopefully nothing awful happens while Zweihard returns to the forge and makes more halberds.
All right. Why don't we take our first break here, and we'll come back and get to work on those details. So see you guys on the other side of a break.
Bye-bye.